Wow, been a while since I've been live on YouTube. Hey, sports fans. I'm going to see if anybody shows up here and says hello, and if anyone does, I'll start my announcement. Um, there's all sorts of new stuff on here that what didn't used to have before. So basically, what's going on is I've been talking about those of you who kind of watched the company grow over the last 10 years. I've been a kind of really vocal critic of having things made in China. And I'm not saying there's not a place for some Chinese made stuff, maybe. Um, but the whole model of, we'll come up with something cool and then send it to China and have it made there so that we don't have to really be in business. We don't really have to have employees. We really don't have to figure out how to make it. It's allowed things to get to market that didn't pass, that wouldn't normally pass the mustard. It's allowed people to be in business who don't have the leadership to be in business. It's lowered the bar for success so that people that really shouldn't be successful have found some success, and it's a form of plundering. It's a form of piracy and rape. And so I've been talking about this for quite some time, and people say I'm a real polarizing character because I say it out loud and I'm unabashed about it. But and so I'm gonna throw this caveat out there before I get rolling. I'm gonna say some stuff about China right now. If you're a Chinese American and you are here and you're an American citizen or working hard to become an American citizen, and you're a hardworking Chinese person of Chinese descent who's an American, this is not towards you. But if you're a Chinese person who is here at a university, who is stealing from us at the behest of your government, if you are an American working on the Chinese payroll and you haven't divulged that you're a state actor, this message is for you, and you should be offended. All you college professors are getting money from them. And there's apparently thousands of you. If you're in China, you fly over to SHOT Show and Blade Show and the trade shows that I attend, and you go around with your dumb smiling fucking face and your camera taking pictures of my products, doing R&D for next year's knockoffs. Fuck you. This is towards you also. There's a war that's going on. There's a war going on at the smiling Nikon picture snapping level of smiling little soulless, shallow merchants with vacuous looks on their faces. There's the Communist Party of China with their permanently elected Xi Jinping. They've declared war on us in all ways. They're the most threatening menace to the high seas the world has seen since the fall of the Soviet Union. They definitely have it out for us. And, I have all of these feelings about coming from this nation that has so much inherent greatness that's been sold out by its ruling class. For you folks who are well-spoken and educated, erudite and urbane, and have wonderful academic acumen and pedigrees and great vocabularies. Those aren't important. They're not real. All they are is a thing. They're a piece of paper given to you by a university with the government stamp of approval. But they're not real. Actually, they're just a way to communicate and convey and sound smarter. Hopefully you think better from them, maybe. I see a lot of people not thinking really well that are educated, that are accredited or credentialed or went to institutions of higher learning, that aren't real good critical thinkers. Being a critical thinker requires being honest with yourself, the people around you, requires being raw, requires taking chances, and requires getting your fucking teeth knocked in sometimes. Because you say stuff, as I try to impact you and you try to impact me, it's a fight. I punch you in the nose with an idea. You get a little bit of a bloody nose. Hey, something I thought was wrong. That goes on. So the Chinese have declared open war on us. They have weaponized their immigration policies. They are doing research to topple counties across America that can change elections by having their citizens move there. They are bribing our professors, who turns out are lying, money-grubbing whores, just like the evil capitalists they wax rhapsodic against. And I want to make this announcement. Here's my announcement. So you had to listen to a minute of my primer. I've been beating this drum about the great red menace of China for years now. And it's coming to fruition. Everything I've said is coming to fruition. People say, oh, Greg, they're not our enemy. Yes, they are. Greg, they're not doing this on purpose. We're doing it. No, they're doing it too. There's two things at play here. One, they're a dirty, rotten, evil, red, dirty, fucking rat commie menace. And two, our elite ruling class that's all well-spoken, urbane, sophisticated, French cuff, Machiavellian planning, overeducated, overindulged ruling class has sold us up the river. So here's my play. The elite ruling class, which hates Donald Trump and hates the commoners who've elected him, to poke a finger in their eye and say common sense and common sense overcomes education and vocabulary. Here's my offer. My offer is this. For you companies that are out there in the United States making knives, for you little guys, for you big guys, for anybody, there's a lot of players in this business. I have capacity. I have built capacity in my company. I've built capacity to be 4 times bigger than I am. The company that I've built is profitable. It's smart. It's lean. We make cool products. We're definitely in the higher end price point. We've moved into the upper medium end of price point. And for you guys that are knife makers out there who are looking for a way to expand your business, have some OEM making done for you. Unlike, and I know there's plenty of people in the country who do this. There's several people who can do this for you. My minimums aren't crazy. My minimum order quantities, my MOQs are real reasonable. My tooling fees are real reasonable. And I want to extend, I'm really busy. My company's busy, really busy. Jeff and Beth have done a great job. My dealers have done a great job. We've marketed and we've got a very robust dealer network. We're not hurting for business. We've got the lead time is not insignificant, but we're doing a great job. But I have some bandwidth in my company. And what I wanted to offer was, I've done some OEM work for some other companies and it's worked out really, really well. And I want to do some more of it. I think it's fun work. I love the new projects and the interacting with other creative people. It's not the most profitable work, but I'm totally okay with that. I love the idea that maybe my little company can start a little butterfly effect to change people's thinking. So if you're a small knife maker or you're a knife maker who's got some designs that you've tried to have made in some numbers and it didn't go very well, if you're a maker who's been considering outsourcing to one of the Chinese knife companies, fuck all of them, and you're looking for an option, my crew is like, hey boss, we don't need any more work. I'm like, hey, but we can do some more work and I can employ some more people and we can make it happen, because not only do we have the capability as high-end knife makers, we have the capacity, we have the machinery, we have the building, and I feel like I have the responsibility. So, it may not be the most profitable business thing for me to get into, but I think it's the most patriotic thing I could possibly do. What can I do? Everyone always says, what can I do in a crisis? You know what? We had the chance to buy a bunch of toilet paper. I bought exactly what we needed, our normal amount. I didn't buy any more than that. When I served in the military, I didn't ask for anything extra. I didn't ask for. I didn't complain about it, and I've never accepted any benefit from it since. Um, Muhammad Ali said, "It ain't bragging if you can do it," and I've been very clear about saying what I could do and deliver on that in the market for the last decade. I think people know that about me, and what I want to offer is I want to offer an American option, an American-made option. I think when a crisis like this happens, American businesses have gotten in bed with China. American politicians are in bed with the businesses that are in China. Boeing is in bed with China. GM, Ford, everybody's in business with China. They're an emerging market, so for an ever-thirsty crowd of capitalists, it's one of the best games in town. You have an emerging middle class and the most populous most populous nation on the planet. But my concern is us engaging this evil. So I've made my position on this really clear. I feel like we're at war. I wish no ill on my Chinese American citizens, my American citizens of Chinese descent. I'm of Greek and Irish descent, and if Ireland was declaring war on us, I would bomb them into the fucking Stone Age. China has declared a Cold War on us, and it's as hot as anything short of a gunfight I've ever seen. And when they threaten to withhold pharmaceuticals from us because the PR is bad over this COVID-19 virus, it should be a wake-up call to everybody. So, to the folks who are here from China, who are informing to China so that their families don't get injured, to the folks that are here taking advantage of the land of milk and honey while manufacturing in China, I say go back to fucking China. And for my Chinese Americans who are just here, Americans who happen to be of Chinese descent, this is not directed at you. I love you and have fought for you and would again, time and time again for you. But anybody who's informing back to China, stealing trade secrets or industrial secrets or research stuff out of university labs, you're a fucking traitor to me and I would drop you in a heartbeat. Wouldn't even think twice about it. Sleep like a baby. All it costs is the cost of a bullet. So for my Americans who are trying to make cool stuff here in America and they don't want their life upended by supply chains out of China, I know you have other options, but I'm here for you. I'm small, I'm nimble. My minimum order quantities are not outrageous. My tooling costs can be absorbed into a first run. You've got to have a good plan for moving your merchandise. You've got to be ready to sell American made. But we want to be here for you. And this thing is, I see so many people starting to, like a coconut hit him in the head, and I hear him saying stuff that I've been saying for years. And I go, oh, that's what I said was going to happen. And I just want to be here. I don't know how else to serve. I owe all my employees to stay focused and keep doing my job. And we're doing our job and doing it well. But I wanted to know, like, what else? Hey, Truth Speaker, love the Strider collab. Just so you know, it wasn't a collab. That's a Strider knife. And we OEM'd that for them. We made it exactly their way. We made it with my kind of tolerances, which drove them a little crazy. And I think it was a good plan. It happened really fast. It was a bold move on their part. They did a great job. And no offense taken. I just don't want that floating around. Mick's a fantastic designer and a creator in his own right. Been around a long time and helped carve out a lane that I drive pretty solidly in with my ship. And we did the project for them, and it worked out really well. It worked out so well. I really hope those guys were gentlemen, and I really hope that we have a long and prosperous future making stuff together. And I want to do it for other companies because it worked out so well. The upside of a guy like me who's brutally raw and straightforward is that doing business with me is super easy because I'm brutally raw and straightforward. Glad you like it. So anyway, for the other knife makers, I hope you guys forward this around. I don't even know if Blade Show's going to happen. I've talked to the managing partner at Blade Show, and he says it's going to happen. Texas knife, you guys want to see it? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hey, would somebody bring me one of those Strider knives, please? Out there in packaging? Thank you very much. That's one of the only upsides to being the boss, is you can just yell down the hallway if you need something and it'll appear. The rest of the time, I am the problem-solving, pride-swallowing dude. Looking forward to seeing more Medford OEM manufacturer. Like, oh, cool, thanks, man. Knife cursed. So I'm going to show you a knife that I did just a few of, not many at all. And it's a version of that knife that was done for another friend of their company and ours. Texas is the best country in the world. Thanks very much. So this is the knife right here. It's pretty sexy. There are not many of these. They're going to one company. I think you guys know who it is. It's, I was down there checking these knives out before they were getting packaged up. And I said to myself, man, I would carry that knife. I really like it. Are there any extras that maybe had a scratch on them that I could have? Because I really like it. It's a super cool knife. So I hope I'm sure this will go over well. And I think you guys know who it's for. You don't even need to say. Super sexy knife. Been blasted, faced, anode. It's just, it's really nice. How about I stick it in my desk so you guys can have it there. Anyways, yeah, that's what an OEM project is. So if you see, it's got their logo on it and there. And it's not trying to be sneaky. I think that it's really important people understand that most knives that you buy around the country, most of them are not made wholesale by the people who are selling them. There are a few big companies that do some of their work. There are very few companies that do every single bit of it like I do. And there are a lot of smaller companies that do what we call collaborative manufacturing. Of the blades made here and the handles made there, and someone cuts them out and they get all these parts, and then they try to kind of cobble them all together in their shops. The problem with that is you've got all of these different sub-suppliers who don't necessarily, they're not communicating like they're in the same shop, so everything's not mated up with the tolerances the way you kind of need them. And what we do, thanks for the shout out, Scott. So what we do, making everything in-house, where I do all of my cutting and blanking, surfacing, milling, hand grinding, finish grinding, heat treating, most of the coatings except for the PVD. By doing all that in-house, I'm able to control all of those stacked tolerances from all those different processes. And honestly, I just get a better, more accurate product because I don't ever get a batch of blades in where the holes are a little too big and I got to make up for that. I don't ever get a batch of handles in that are a little too this or a little too, it's all here in real time and it's always right. So, I think that, for a company, let's say Strider, if they've picked me to do some of their, one or two of their models over time, I think that it's a really smart play on their part because I can do all of it in-house, all right here. They know it's all American made. They know that I control the intellectual property, and they know that I'm not going to screw them over. They know that I'm not going to be selling stuff out the side of the building to someone else, and they know that by looking out for them, I am looking out for me. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. I think the customer benefits the most. And the big thing they know, and the reason why it's, I think, a real positive relationship is, first and foremost, I'm a knife maker. We are into making knives. We love making knives. They asked me at one point, they said, why do you want to do this? And I said, we like making knives. And I love helping out another good American brand, especially if, like I know Mick does his customs, his Mick Strider customs. Those are Mick's hands. And Strider Knives has always had, ProTech, and they've had stuff done with Microtech, and they've done different projects with other companies before. I don't, and I know they've done plenty of having parts made and OEM stuff made. So for us to step in and OEM it from top to bottom, we didn't come in and do a Microtech version of his knife. We didn't, or a Medford version of his knife. We didn't come in and do a ProTech version of one of his knife. We came in and did his knife. And then, when we talked about grinding on it, we said, hey, how do you want to do the grinding? And I showed him, maybe you guys want to see some samples. Would you like to see some samples, some prototypes, just for fun? Most of the times people like this. So just give me 1 second. I'll be off camera just for a moment. And hold on. Hold your horses. Hold fast. Here we go. I got two. All right, so I got 2 prototypes here. These were some prototypes from the project. I hope these guys don't have a heart attack at me. Like, oh my God, what's Medford getting online doing all this for? So when I went through and hopefully what this does is this will get shared around a little bit and people kind of see some of the zeitgeist behind this. No one's trying to be sneaky, but like, just so you know, General Motors doesn't make probably 75% of the stuff that's on your GM vehicle. They make the drive chain, or they make the chassis, or they make the chassis and the drivetrain, and maybe the motor's even made in a different factory. And they have a supply chain of all these different things coming in. And then, Bob's Vinyl is the one who does this components, and this upholstery company, and someone else does the seats. It's very, very collaborative. They don't make the speedometer on a Chevrolet. There's a company that makes gauges who does that. So as we talk about knife making all the way down the chain, you'll see this collaborative making going on. If we look at, for instance, the big knife makers, most of them don't Swiss their own parts. They have their parts Swissed elsewhere, or collaboratively done, or sourced globally. If we look at, a lot of places don't do their heat treating. So there's a lot of and nobody, I guess people don't even understand that modern manufacturing is it's not what's called vertically integrated anymore. There's not one factory that's making every component. Oh, look at that. I work in a drive shaft plant. Like Mercedes are you. Like Mercedes are. Like Mercedes are you. So we are really making everything house, and it's a really old-fashioned way of doing business, but because I'm kind of a control freak for quality, I'm insane about it. It's the only way I could control the quality. I tried to do collaborative manufacturing, and I live in an aerospace town where everybody makes parts for Boeing and Honeywell and aerospace all over the country, and I couldn't get the quality. I couldn't get the tolerances held for knife making. And by the time they stacked up all around the country, all around the region here where I had stuff made and brought it in, I just couldn't get the quality I wanted out of the knives. So it forced me. The tail wagged the dog all into vertical integration. So let me get to the 2 knives. So I did the first prototypes, and they were kind of like, hey, let's do them in my thicknesses so I don't have to change my whole company to make this one project for you. And then we came down to grinding, and I said, well, listen, they sent me a prototype, and I said, well, listen, I'll grind one like the prototype, and I'll grind one my way, and if we can grind them my way, I can do them for this price. If you want me to grind them your way, I have to change the price a little bit because it's outside of what we normally do, and they just chose. So this is not a collaborative project. This is what they wanted and what they order. So here are 2 of the original knives. So in this knife, you will see some stuff that I don't do. You'll see this over travel stop. You'll see some things in some different places. You'll see the way the clip's done. I do that on one knife. You'll see their style of grind, which is a little different. So on this style of knife, you'll see the grind doesn't follow the curvature of the blade. It doesn't matter why, but that's what they chose to do at the time. So I mimicked it exactly the way they sent it to me. So guys say, it doesn't look like Strider's grinding. Oh, okay, it doesn't. I did it. And then I did, and I submitted this at the same time. And when people saw this, they went, who fucking made that knife? This is one of the things this is Now, I got to tell you, I got to hand it to the guys at Strider. Mick and Josh, they were like, Mick in particular, Mick could have said, no, I'm Mick Strider. Strider Knives do it fucking my way. That's what my crowd wants. He was like, no, man, I like your grind. I love your grinds. He goes, I think that grind's great. You just he goes, you're fucking hand grinding all that? And I was like, yeah, that's what we do. And he goes, yeah, fucking do it that way. It looks great. So you talk about a guy who could have a giant ego. You talk about a guy who's made a big splash in the knife world. He had no ego with me about it. He was really cool. So for all the Strider fanboys who've all thought that I'm some fucking asshole, or like we're in competing camps, we're really not. I think they were a little surprised, and I was surprised how easy they were to work with, and I think they were surprised. Pretty much. I'm pretty easy to work with. I mean, I kind of define things up front so nobody miscommunicates. But other than that, I think, when I told them, hey, let's do this, we talked for almost a year. And when everyone finally made a decision to do this, I made these knives in like 45 days. So it was a nice delivery for them. And I know they've been through restructuring and life changes and all that stuff. The idea that I could help out the Strider Knife Company and Mick Strider and Josh and the guys over there, honestly, it's a total honor for me to do it for them. How could you not be anything but kind of humbled by people who were here doing it before you came along? And how could you not be humbled by being able to do something that is good for them and it's good for you and it's good for the knife community who had been able to get these knives? It just does nothing. It's nothing but a great win. So we have some other cool projects hopefully in the wings. And hopefully we'll do more stuff for them, and I hope it works out well. And it'll work out well by all of you guys supporting them. So I don't know anything about the SNGs. I'm not part of that project. I've just been working on the ARs. And for someone who popped on a minute ago and asked, I've been wanting to do OEM work now for quite some time. My doors are open for business. I know this sounds crazy. I have message retracted. I don't know what that means, Jay. I have capacity at my company. I have capacity. I built a company for 4 times of my current size. I built a company right to what I could afford to fund the infrastructure to, and then I'm growing into the company, and I'd like a big part of my company's growth to be OEM work. So you guys will see hopefully more great partnership projects. I'm calling it a partnership project. Look, if I make a Strider knife, I'm making a Strider knife. I'm making their knife, and then what I try to do is I try to elevate it. I try to elevate it with the fact that I make everything here. I can hold the tolerances all really, really crazy tight and get a really long-lasting, great quality product for them. Whereas if they're collaboratively doing it, they got to deal with all the stack tolerances. So I think for anybody out there who's an ingenue, they're new to knife making or new to, hey, EDC Specialties, one of our faves, going to be our second Nexus store going in up in California, Northern California. I just designed the display for their place. It's going to be fantastic. So, one of the things people need to understand is that there are almost no companies that make durable hard goods who make every part of the process. And to have that capability here in the United States with a company like me who's basically saying, hey, my doors are open for business. I've got some capacity. If you want me to do some projects, bring it to me. Let's pencil it up, see if we can put together a great project, and let's bring another great American knife to the scene. Rather than that business going to Asia, rather than that business leaving the country, and then, so they leave it, and then, no, you can't buy them from me. It's only a Strider project. And then have them come back here and take the profit from the United States and the manufacturing wealth creation happening in China. I want nothing to do with that. So if you want nothing to do with that, but here's the mindset that has to change. Great countries with great clean air and great clean water and roads and bridges and amazing military and a military with morals and might, and an amazing country like ours. This all of these things that we love about our country, they all cost money. Having a the first class tier one country on planet Earth requires first class tier one money. And that's the shift that needs to happen with small makers. I hear guys say, well, I want to bring a $250 American made knife to the United States. And I go, well, fucking good luck. I don't know how to do that. I'm too small with 35 people and 16,000 square feet. I can't do it. I don't know how. And you could do that with some intergenerational old-fashioned style of making with old-fashioned machinery that's really inefficient, that makes a very few narrow kind of knives one way. Those just aren't the kind of knives people want as much anymore. What we see coming out of China are $200 knives that are $400 or $500 knives here. And their quality's not that great. Everyone says how great they are because they were so bad before. The quality's mediocre as fuck. Even the best Chinese knife companies. A little bit. Someone just asked if the regulations are insane. You guys have no idea how much money I spend. I spend over $1,000 a month in compliance on throwing away my trash. I'm not exaggerating. I just spent $500 doing my annual testing. I had to test all around my garbage cans and submit a form from Test America to Waste Management. My trash and my garbage, because I'm a company, has to be tested for industrial byproducts. It costs $500 a year to test for that. And then my garbage has to be GPS located when they put it in the dump in a special place, even though I don't make anything dangerous, noxious, or caustic. So it's pretty insane. People don't really understand how bad the regulation oversight is. It's super expensive. I'll tell you the other thing that's really expensive is HR compliance. Super expensive. And I think people don't realize all of these things we want when we go to Costco and Walmart and Amazon. We're circumventing ourselves. We want overtime pay. We want this. We want that. We want workers' rights. We want healthy this and clean that. And then we go buy stuff. We're like, I want this from all my American companies. And then they sneak over to Walmart, Amazon, all these other places, and they cheat and they buy Chinese made where they don't have to follow. Like in China, I would be a fucking overlord. Because I know how to do this. But if I didn't have to follow any rules, I'd be a fucking overlord. I'm not kidding. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, if you didn't have to follow the rules, business is so fucking crazy profitable. And then when you follow all the rules, it's like, oh my God. And the other part is it emotionally beats you down. There's a cost to being compliance cost. So we do this and it's okay. And I knew what I was getting into. I mean, I didn't know quite this much, but it's okay. But Americans don't know that. They think business bad. And there's this, you have these big multinational corporations that make these choices that seem weird to us Americans. And maybe if I was in their shoes, I'd look at the trend and go, oh, like, it makes sense. But what happens is the sub 200 person company gets lumped in with like AIG and bankers and packaged C-tier debt. And, we get lumped into that kind of robber baron bad economic class. And the reality is we're really regular folks who drive generally cars a little bit nicer, a house a little bit bigger, and we die a little bit younger because we make a little more money, but we're super stressed and we're trying to hold it all together for everybody and not renege on any promises. That's the hard part. And what I want to do is I want to just offer this spectacular red, white, and blue solution for small companies or big companies that are looking to have a badass toe in the market. Some of the bigger companies, I really like Benchmade. I like Kershaw. I love those companies. I love what they do. And I'm kind of amazed by it. They do a fantastic job, but they don't make the same quality knife I do. And if they wanted to step into this area, I'd make a knife for them. It'd be a nice little feather in my cap. And it would be a cool way for them, like, hey, we're helping out a little company who's kind of in his own space and he believes in a lot of the same stuff that we do. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just chatting with you guys. Just a private conversation. Just you, the three of you and me. That's it. There's four of us in this conversation. Nobody's ever going to hear this. But if you know anybody who's a knife maker, who's looking for some American help, oh my God, I'm probably in such trouble with the Strider guys. I hope I'm not. No secret, and I know they weren't trying to be secretive. We're not trying to be secretive. I haven't been secretive hiding the stuff. I give tours, people see it. I think everybody knew about it, but some people got their butts chapped a little bit. So I don't mind a little bit. People, the word is out now, a little bit of disclosure. I think the Strider guys made a lovely, I think they made a gracious, non-ego decision to let me come in and help with some making of some stuff. And I just think it is a win for the whole knife community. It's a win for them. And honestly, it's a win for us. And I want to do more of it. It's great fun. I have had such a fun time making this stuff for them. Would I ever do collabs with smaller makers? I don't know. It just depends. The answer is maybe. The big thing is, the real big thing is, does it benefit them? Does it benefit the knife community? And does it benefit or hurt me? So, like I said, I don't really need the business, but it's super fun work for me. I love interacting with other creators and making something cool. For me, it's, the solving the problems of making it, using my methodology to make somebody else's creation. And I think that, do I want to get into co-design projects? Do I want to do design projects where I sell their knife with their name on it? I market it? Not really. I want to do stuff for guys who have a market for their knives and they're looking to have their market sated. People who draw knives and don't bring them to market, they're not really in the knife business. It's okay. No negative judgment, but they're not really in the knife business. If you've got a cool design and you want me to make 500 of them and you want me to sell them, you're not bringing anything to the table. You've got zero. If you want to elevate the knife world, build a market for your product. And when the market is bigger than your capability, I'm your guy. Or someone like me who can make stuff and make it to a really high standard. So that's what I say. I say, there's a process. Become a knife maker, build a market, develop a partnership. Don't draw a picture, find someone who can make it and sell it for you. I've had a lot of well-known people come to me and say, hey, I want to design a knife. You're going to sell thousands of them if I put my name on it. Famous Navy SEALs. Fucking, you guys wouldn't even believe it. And I tell them flat out, I go, won't sell, doesn't matter, no one gives a shit. There are 800 fanboys who maybe know your name. No fucking way, won't make any difference. And the difference is, I'm a real true speaker to guys. Like, hey, look, your knife's fucking amazing. You make beautiful knives. You're a fantastic knife maker. You can't make them that way if you want to make a living doing it. They say, oh, you got to do this. It takes 4 hours to thing this whole thing up. You can't make knives that way to the market. So first of all, you got to change your headedness. If you can't bring a knife that requires 4 hours of lapping to make it lock properly, can't do it. I've had guys come to me. I go, you can't do that. Well, I can't make enough of them. That's because you spend half your day lapping the blade. Of course you can't do that. So the step is, I'm an excellent knife maker. The market, I've marketed myself and what I make, and the market is bigger what I can deliver. Then I need someone like Medford Knife. That's the process. But if you don't have the market, don't just go building the blades because they will come, because it's not true. All right, well, listen, you guys, that's a rant and a ramble and an offer from me over here at Medford Knife and Tool. I hope it was fun sitting in with me on this Tuesday morning, doing a little live YouTubing, fun chatting with a few of you guys. Maybe some people will see the video, maybe they won't. Share it around. Have a lovely day. Keep your head down, 6 feet away from everybody. Knuckle bumps. Guy wants to know what I'm rocking. Torian Swift, kind of this and the Proxima in my current rotation. Don't get the COVID virus, but if you do, big deal. What's going on right now is a patient that has an infection on their hand and they're beheading the patient to stop the infection. It's unbelievable what's happening. Do you know how many people will die if we dismantle the American economy? They're dismantling it because they want it dismantled. They want to see Trump lose. If you don't think that's going on, that's a whole nother video. Anyways, Greg Medford 9, MKTUSA. Stop by medforduniversity.com. And here's my phone number. It's 480-227-2399. That's my cell phone. Don't send me selfies of your penis. If you want to talk about an OEM project and you're serious, you can email me there. You can text me there, or you can email me at greg@medfordknife.com, and I'll be around to chat. All right? Thanks, you guys. I'm out. See, I don't even know how to turn this off anymore. You guys know? There's an X. How about I hit the X? Are you sure you want to stop streaming?